Hello Lone Star Drift audience, here we are. I want to show you first the Houston Police Academy track. You can see the start, the entry, squiggle around. That's what the track looks like. Now I'm going to take you for a lap around the track in a car so you can see what it looks like when we're actually driving. Then we're going to do some fun stuff throughout the video, a little music montage, and at the end we're going to have the Texas Street Legal and Pro-Am comps in complete form. So please enjoy this video. This is kind of an old school Lone Star Drift video, just a big goofy thing about around. I normally don't have a lot of time to make these, but I just want to show you how much fun we have nowadays, just the level of cars, everything that's going on. I've been so busy doing so much stuff and being a dad, I really haven't gotten to make these videos because they're so hard to make, but I really just wanted to share this with you, so thank you so much, and let's get started. This, by the way, is Rudy. He's leading the series. Lone Star Drift Pro-Am this year. Okay, here we go.
Toka-Kori, Machiwa almost 40. My Luna Akabademi does a Jaku no Sutori. Toka-Kori, Machiwa almost 40. Kipono Mina Haruka Kanata no Kalori. Toka-Kori. Toka-Kori, 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 Toka-Kori. 会社限界絶対やめたい決断もないとさ。大学限界毎日やったりリスクを持ってる兄さん。でもとも限界現実逃避アイドルどっぷり換算。ただとグーフィーに流れてきたあの旋律は。
Well, that's not ideal. The tire just like completely YOLO'd off the wheel. Time to go get some adult help.
Lone Star Drift.
Okay, so this is first place, G35. I never thought Pro-Am would see a G35 in first place. This is both insulting and amazing.
It's a race car.
It is a race car. So
Yes!
The first 3 rounds of Lone Star Drift were on big, fast, gnarly tracks.
Drove in Formula D. Here we go. Josh Robinson is in the pole position. Rudy Martinez spinning the tires all the way down the line. Beautiful entry. Get gassed. I'm trying to act exciting, but I sound silly because I'm 45 years old. Fantastic run there with Rudy. Rudy's on a slightly better line, more angle, doing everything he's supposed to do. Josh didn't know what to do.
So we're now at a small track. How do you think you're gonna do in this thing?
If you saw me earlier, I was practicing my run up.
Yeah.
So if I stay calm and calculated, I can get the run up. If I get too excited, I'm definitely going to spin the tires
And
and
it
take
just
an
blows
L.
them off?
Yeah, it just blows them off. So if we can stay
Alright.
calculated today, which I feel zen, feel good.
Well, I'm excited to see him get between 5th and 3rd place maybe. I'm gonna take 1st place. And then he's still gonna win the goddamn series. And I'm still gonna have to take him to Japan so he can drive my car at Ebisu. He won the series last year and got to go to Japan.
My favorite part about this is I'm sad that, you know, you kind of took some L's in the beginning, but like, it's either me or Kevin Sushi.
No, we'll have 15 rounds before Kevin does it. So, but first of all, how is Japan? Because you're going again, we might as well just talk about that. Tell me the highlights of Japan, how'd you like it, all that stuff.
Japan is mind-blowing. You get to drive the cars, drive way more than any other place I've ever been. The cars just work, they never overheat.
Because we're in the winter?
Yeah, you just take lunch breaks because like you're so tired of driving and you need like actual food. And I'm one that kind of watches my food. And then by the time I got back, I was so like fit, I guess, that I never gained any weight, but I ate a lot of food and did a lot of driving, and it was extremely tiring and a lot of fun. And I think I got really good at driving because it was just like that extra level that I needed. But Japan is totally awesome.
Look at this.
Oh,
Is he at like 0 PSI? Can you see that? That bitch is flat. What are you doing? You have a vacuum in there?
I'm trying to find the grip in the OACs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
so-
on 285s?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put it at 8 PSI, and I guess 12 is the threshold on these because 12 feels stable, and then I put it at 8 and took off, and you can feel it like fishtail almost.
I'm in the 20s.
Well, it doesn't do anything for me in the 20s, but
Yeah.
blow them off.
I don't make half the horsepower he does. Okay, so I'm excited to see how this thing does. This is more of a big course car. It's a heavy, super high horsepower car that's yellow, which is better at large tracks. At the small tracks, the better driver in an S14 that has the body falling off is gonna have a bigger advantage and win.
I actually tried though. The other one broke inside.
Oh.
Yeah.
What broke?
The radiator just, there must have been like a rock in the fan and it just fucking gashed it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you brought 2 cars.
Good thing I brought 2 cars.
This- no, we've already seen this. This guy, by the way, is a 3-liter super built JZ with the 1050, I think, G35 turbo. Is that right?
Yeah.
Makes like 830 wheel or whatever he says it does, because who knows. And then this is his 1.5 JZ S13 that he's had forever. Tell us how this thing is going. Which is a better car? They're both dog box. They're both gnarly.
The car runs really good right now, and then I tried to refresh it before this weekend, but we've had so much work at the shop that it kind of looks very bad.
What turbo's on here?
The Pulsar,
What size? Like a 30 or 35? Or?
3582,
Okay.
because of the displacement.
Which one's more responsive? They're both 3 liters though, right?
Yeah, they're both actually really good right now. Like
Okay.
they're both, I would say, equally as responsive.
Cool.
I'm not like clutch kicking like before on the 1J stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sick.
Yep. Look at these.
Alright.
These are cool. But I feel like they're gonna fall off.
Is this a new body style KBD bumper?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got to
interesting.
pick it out with
Oh, really?
Irving. Yeah. So he gave me one. But this is a bricks. Have you seen those?
No, what is this?
The whole thing is
It's
3D
3D?
printed. Even look, if you can see the grains.
How much are they?
$730.
Jesus Christ.
All right, this is my head cam from inside my car in the competition. I thought I'd show you guys my competition before I show you the unbroken competition at the end of the video. Let's get started. This is Rudy Martinez versus me in my second battle of the comp. Nice entry, very nice straightforward. Aaron enters nicely, sticks to Rudy. I'm in third gear. I bet Rudy's in third gear too. I'm kind of all over the steering wheel right there. I shift down to second here. Rudy goes nice and wide just like he's supposed to. We're both doing exactly what we're supposed to. Good line, everything else through here. Rudy's amazing to follow. I jump in there. I am locked onto Rudy. Very nice lap by both of us. And you can see me shuffle the wheel around, a little bit of handbrake right here to slow down the car. Rudy has a really nice car. He flips me off right there. I do not want to damage Rudy's car. He absolutely loves this thing and is so proud of it. So I can't be as aggressive as I want to be against like a really good driver like him, because it's a big balance. You don't want to, create an enemy by wrecking one of your friend's cars and pissing them off. So I got to be careful. Ooh, you'll notice I have a passenger in the car. He's a good 200-pound Austin, Texas guy, Michael Van Schellenbeck. So I do have a friend in the car. Makes it more fun to drive, although I am very heavy at this point, but probably no heavier than the G35. Rudy does not have a passenger, I just noticed. My car weighs like 2850 at least without me in it. So it's like probably, I don't know, 2,300 pounds or something with both of us in it. So Rudy's higher in points because I had multiple mechanical breakages earlier in the year. So he led. Now we're going to flip. I'm going to lead. You notice I showed the cool down here so I could kind of show you exactly what an unbroken competition would look like. I have a nice simple entry. It was pretty similar to Rudy's. I might have had a bit more of a flick there. Third gear nicely through here, right on line. Rudy does have a bit more angle, you'll notice. That's because his car is really aggressively set up. I'm hitting all my marks really nicely here, just cruising through the track. I cannot see what Rudy's gonna, like how his follow is or anything right here, but I'm just chewing through the track. My driving style is really predicated upon not destroying the tires, where Rudy does not care. Rudy has at least double to triple or quadruple the tire wear my S14 does. I believe I did the entire day this day on one set of tires. I normally go through one set of tires per day in this car on 285 08C Valinos. Here we go. We find out I did win, and then we're gonna slip through here. But I make a joke about his team not needing his pit spot, and I take his pit spot and send him back. Sucks for Rudy there. Rudy has won the first 3 rounds this year and was absolutely dominating on the big tracks. The slower track, my car's kind of really good at. Anyways, let's skip to the next battle.
So Rudy talks so much shit. Big shit talker. This track is really well suited to this car. Yeah. Y'all don't need this space anymore. I'm gonna take it.
And next up is Ben Lee. He runs VPF. It's a tuning place, so he tunes cars and stuff. It's a big, I think a G35 1050 370Z. Big power. I lead down the straight. Very similar to my normal entry. I hit him on entry because he's in the way. I almost quit my lap, but I'm very phased, and I just continue through my lap really carefully. But in my head, I'm like, I should have stopped that and just like rerun it, because I'm totally in my head phased. Doesn't mean I can't put down a good lap, but it means I'm completely distracted going around the track. So you'll see me go around here, finish my lap. I think Ben is also completely distracted because I thought, I don't know, I figured Ben would be completely on me on that lap. So we're gonna come around, we're gonna cool down real quickly, get back in line, and Ben's car on the bigger tracks is obscenely faster than mine, and he's a really good driver. But at this point, we're both kind of, knocked around a little bit. I know that he's probably a little bit frazzled and probably a little bit mad at me because he thinks that it's my fault that I hit him, even though he needs to give me space. And in my brain, I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna hit this dude on the next lap, hopefully on both sides of his car, and push him around. The problem with that is you get really sloppy. But at this point, I kind of thought, I didn't know if I lost or won or what was going on. I just go out and drive for fun, and I'm not really in the points standings because I'm like 100 points behind Rudy at this time. So I'm gonna go out there and go drive hard. So let's see what happens. You'll notice I'm gonna go down the straight and watch my tachometer. I get up to about 3,500. I have to clutch kick there into power. I enter at 4,000. The turbo cars are so much slower down the straight than my car. I can't even like get my car in the power band. You'll notice I had a really sloppy entry. I jump up here. He has big wide spot, big angle, good driver. I jump in here. I'm really holding. Whoa! I pop a corner light out of my car and hit him. So I back off a little bit and then jump back in again. Somehow he said I tagged him right there, but I think I only tagged him on one side. Anyways, I tagged him a little bit harder than I meant to, and then somehow I'm going to get the win off this one. I don't know quite what happened, but it's up to the judges. Anyways, kind of an interesting, really sloppy lap where both drivers got into their heads, and I think mistakes were made, and then the judges just have to figure it all out. But it was a really messy set of circumstances. Let's move on to the next battle. All right, now we are in the finals. So I'm going to go against Kevin Susi in his S14. He's ranked higher in points, second place. I think I'm supposed to be following, not leading this lap. But for some reason, I asked him about that, and that's how they wanted it in the bracket. I'm going to go down the straight. My car is quite a bit faster down the straight. I'm getting much more RPM than the last battle up on the tack. I enter nicely, nice and wide, right on my outside line, right where I'm supposed to be. I'm just taking it easy in these comps a lot of the time. Just flowing through. I'm putting down a really easy line for them to follow. A good amount of angle. I'm not going too fast. I'm not trying to run away from them. My car is pretty quick on this track. Right there is kind of a weird little area. You don't want to dial in too much angle there because you won't get through that corner very smoothly and quickly. So you want to dial your angle back a little bit, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go around. We're cooling down. Really quick cool down lap. You'll notice I think my car is at like 180-ish for the temp. I do have a rear mount radiator. It's really good at temperature, and this wasn't too hot of a day. Might be a tiny bit hotter now, maybe like 190. But my car cools really, really well. It's a just completely like not super thought out rear mount radiator, no ducting or anything else like that. Just a really big radiator and set of fans, and that's it. All right, but it never like doesn't allow me to get through a competition, which is nice, even in the middle of the summer. In the middle of the summer, we will put a little tiny bit of water on the radiator, like as we sit in grid, but I don't have to take cool down laps or do anything typically. All right, here we go. So this is for the 1-2 battle. Kevin Susi's going to lead now. He has a 1JZ, I think 30R S14. He's pretty slow down the straight there. I enter at like 3,000 something RPM. His car is actually really slow here, so I have to hold mine back in third gear, which is kind of tough. Through here, I'm down to second gear, just cruising through. I'm not super aggressive on him or anything like that, just sticking to him. It's always easy to stick to the lead car here in this corner, and then this corner is kind of difficult. And there you see. Bonk, he goes off a couple wheels there. Now you'll notice that this track is not overly difficult, but it's a really good track to tandem on, and I absolutely adore this track. After years and dozens of events here, I never get bored of this place. I really enjoy it. And I go out to some other events that I don't even host, and I go drive this track on the side even. So I drive this track a lot. All right. I enjoy driving my circle track car here too. I keep it fresh by driving different cars here all the time even. And there I'm high-fiving my passenger, which is goofy. It's so much fun to like enjoy drifting with a friend. Michael is a super good drifter. He has a crazy car, by the way. An E36, big power car if you remember him from Proam back in the day.
This is the perfect chance to juxtapose one car for another and all this stuff. Hold this for a second. This man just went SR. I feel like I filmed this with him like a month ago and I forgot to post it because we haven't been doing much with our video. Please tell us what it's like to go from an SR20 car, which was T28, right?
Yeah.
Over to an LS car. How do you like it?
The LS is super fun, but it feels like really lazy drifting because you just like press the pedal and it goes.
I'm not quite sure what to say about this. I just wanted to show you guys that he wrapped his 350Z and his Cybertruck the same thing. Here, wait, how do I roll down the window?
Same thing.
I'm trying to roll down. How much does that thing cost?
I don't know, a little bit.
Do you want to drag race us down the straight?
I'm gonna get fucking
Yeah. All right.
Should I give him a head start?
No, just let him go. Ready? Go.
All right, let's make a video about a competition. So this is going to be the Texas Street Legal Competition where the drivers cannot do massive modifications to the cars. They cannot change injectors, cannot swap motors, cannot add or change forced induction if it's on the car. It is not to make the cars equal. People think it is. No, this series is about making the drivers have a ton of seat time and not blow up their cars. Obviously, a Corvette is not going to be equal to a Corolla. All right, so now let's talk about the track really quickly. We start at the start line, we go down to the entry, we enter into the sweeper at corner 1. The pink means stay off the inside. If you're on the inside, you are in the wrong area, huge deduction. You head where the red arrows go onto that blue line. Blue line is outside area, outside zone. Then you head over to the little pink X, which is a manji point. We do not connect this entire track through that sweeper without a manji. I know it's possible. We have done it. We've all done it. But in comp, it just flows a lot better if you look at the shape of that corner and everything else. We then go into corner 2, stay off the inside. That allows the follow driver to have a good, clean run at that corner. Then you head to that little outside blue portion, then to the outside blue portion, the next portion. Corner 3, don't chop that thing, otherwise the follow car cannot get in tight. Then we head to corner 4, same thing, don't chop the next one. At the second apex of corner 4, you kind of do have to chop it a bit, so don't worry about that too much. Head down to the next blue area, and then stay off of the inside in corner 5 if you can, but you kind of have to be close, but do not dip a front tire, and then to the outside. Now, next rules of engagement. The lead car must put down a very solid run in order to give the follow guy a good chase run. If the lead guy does not put down a solid chase or lead run, you cannot expect the chase car to put down a good solid chase run. So the first and foremost, the lead car must put down a good lap, be in all the zones which he needs to, not chop the follow guy's line and all that stuff. And then we look at things such as proximity in the follow position, the transitions of the car, all that kind of stuff for chase. You'll get the point. Let's get started with this competition now. All right, guys, please join me. I'm going to announce as we do this competition. In the lead is Shannon, and in the back is Harvey Gore. Nice entry by Shannon. That is a 350Z HR car with a set of cams in it. Interesting engine. Probably puts down about 315 to 345 wheel horsepower, something like that. And Harvey in the back has a 370Z that probably puts down about 315 wheel. Now, both of these guys are really good drivers. Great proximity here. These guys are battling each other pretty early in the bracket, which means one of them is going to get knocked out pretty early on, but these guys both should really be at the end of the bracket. They're both really good drivers. Shannon hasn't been driving this year, though, so he is a kind of a wild card at the back of the bracket. And Harvey, I don't think he's been driving too much this year either, so he's back in there. Harvey goes pretty wide there. You'll notice that I gave you all a breakdown on the line of the track, so you can really watch the drivers as they come through the track and see where they need to be and make your own decision there. Harvey cuts that corner a little bit there, which kind of chops off the line for Shannon, and the judges have to make all those little split decisions on a sliding scale, just like some gymnastics thing, and then everybody hates the judges later on. Now, the judges do a pretty damn good job, but again, it is something that people can get mad at. All right, here we have a Mustang, makes about 300 wheel. It's a V8 Mustang followed by a 370Z. Mustang looks really good right there. Decent line there. You'll notice he kind of angle stalls there a tiny bit, but a lot of the cars do. 370Z's coming through with pretty moderate angle. He's kind of a road racer, so you'll see very mild angle from that 370Z. Oh, well, I guess the Mustang had way too much angle there. But the 370Z throughout this competition, you'll see has very mild angle there. And oftentimes that works really well in competition up until the last couple battles. So the 370Z is a little bit shallow there, not great line throughout there. He's always a tiny bit of a beat off, tucks in there a little bit too shallow, but it doesn't matter on this lap because, and then he tucks in a tiny bit there shallow, because again, the Mustang did spin. So he's gonna basically have an automatic advancement as long as he makes it through here. cool. All right. Next battle. KBD Irving versus Mike in that Corvette. Let's look at KBD. He's way shallow. Come on, KBD car. Way shallow there. All right. Corvette's having a tough time. Well, damn it. Corvette should not have spun there. The KBD car definitely was causing problems with the Corvette's line and everything else. But the Corvette should have been able to continue drifting behind them. So 350Z has a really big advance, like whatever. He just has to continue with this lap and not, damn it, 0 out. Well, at least his body kit wasn't hurt. All right, now Mike has a lead. He does not have a car on bad line in front of him. Let's see how he does with a clean lap. Pretty good lead run there from Mike in the Corvette. Nice transition. All right, he has a really good line there. He's doing a good job. And that Corvette probably has another 150 wheel. Irving's a pretty new driver, by the way, and Mike in that Corvette has been drifting for more than a decade across the country. Very experienced driver. Irving is killing it for his first year. Also, Irving has to put up with me making fun of him sometimes if he's going to drive in the damn grass. All right, here we have a black E90 BMW. I think it's a 328. You do not see many of these that are naturally aspirated driving. Corvette looks like he has mechanical difficulties in the follow position, and that BMW, if you watch the way it bounces around, I think it looks like it's on cut springs. He's doing a good job managing that car for how bad the suspension looks like it's like working for him. And also the car doesn't have a lot of power, so he's hustling it around really well. But he is giving up on line and has a lot of errors because of it. But man, he's hustling that car around. That's a really good job. All right, let's see how the Corvette does not behind that car. Big power discrepancy. Corvette is out of here. Nice entry there from the Corvette. Shallow line there. A little bit of an awkward transition, but it's way better than his previous lap. You'll see the dirt kick up there. He has a lot of little tiny mistakes that constantly need adjusting and then kind of throw him off for the next corner. That E90 BMW is doing a great job like catching up. He is cutting the corners a lot, does not have as much angle, but he's doing a good job. It's tough when you're behind a really fast car. Pretty big deduction there for dropping some tires. All right, I think this is Vanessa in the lead, our only female driver today. Decent line going through that little sweeper with Vanessa. Nice transition around that Manji cone. Little bit narrow there. Her line was a little bit shallow. Pretty shallow there again. She's cruising through really nicely though. Oh, she caused that accident, like that problem. Now the back car should not have come out of drift. He should have been able to deal with that, but Vanessa did cause that and then came out of drift, so they both zeroed. Well, I'm guessing. I don't know what the judges did with that, but something like that. All right, that lead red 350Z has a really nice lap there. He has a much faster pace throughout the track than the salmon car. The pink car, I don't even know what that color is called. I'm going to be quiet for a second, let y'all just watch. Sometimes there's not a... Oh, I said I was going to be quiet. All right, I'm going to be quiet. Okay, I was just going to say, sometimes there's not a lot to say. Oh, but this is going to be a good battle. All right. This is Tim in the lead with Jack behind. Nice lead there from Tim. He's really wide. Jack is great at following. You'll notice Jack typically has really good transition timing as well. Jack gives him a pretty good space there, but I think he's going to reel him in right here. Bonk. Great transition timing there from Jack. Nice lap. Good job, both drivers. That was one of the more solid laps we've seen so far. The cars were working much more in unison. Decent horsepower difference between there, so Tim has to try and catch up. You'll notice he has way less angle there, and then he also has less grip. So when you're trying to catch up like that, you'll start to push a wider line in that follow car position, because again, the 350Z has less grip, less power, less everything, and he's chasing down a faster car. So he can catch up in various ways, but he can also stack a bunch of small mistakes, pushing wide, running less angle, doing a bunch of things. Up, and then he strains out there. So I'm going to say huge advantage to Jack in the Corvette. Jack's a really good driver. Good job. All right. We have the leader of our Texas Street Legal Series in points, father and owner of the Cybertruck with that orange and black wrap, followed by Vadim in his S54 M3 convertible car. Now, it's interesting. People think that S54 is like a Jesus motor until you realize it basically is just a VQHR motor with less torque, which is kind of interesting. All right, coming through here. Oh no! Frank goes off and zeros in the lead position. All right, Vadim has a nice entry there. You do not see convertibles very often, which is very visually different. And a lot of the times they're actually heavier than the coupes that they're based upon. Now Vadim just has to not spin and just cruise through this track. He does have a really wild E36 like Pro-Am car and Wise Fab with quick change rear end and like crazy 7 liter or 6.8 liter V8. So he's a very experienced driver. And a lot of these experienced drivers choose to drive like a Texas Street Legal car, so it's a lot easier. All right, these cars get confusing. Kobe versus Shannon, I believe. No, maybe it's Kevin Wynn. I can't tell some of these Black Z's apart. They just have slightly different colored wheels. So here we go. Let's watch them go through the track. I think it's Kobe in the lead. Oh, the lead car has a large problem there. Completely straightens out down into that little power alley. All right, here we go. Shannon's car is quite a bit faster down the straight on the dual yellow wheels. Oh, super wide though and messy, but still a nice lap there, but super too wide. Oh, he's going real wide again, completely dips off. That's making a really difficult lap. He would have had that in the bag had he not been so wide, stacking deductions like that. I'm not quite sure what the judges are going to do about that, but let's see. I kind of feel like we're going to see it one more time. Oh my gosh. Deduction after deduction for these guys. All right, this is Stewart versus Edwin in the 370Z. Nice entry by Stewart. He's a little shallow there. Not huge angle. Now adds a bunch of angle. Ugh, as a judge, Stewart kind of caused that by slowing down so much, but I kind of think Edwin was already in the position of messing that up and straightening out, pushing through the front tires. I'm not quite sure what the judges are going to say. I kind of think it's a double-edged sword there. Stewart caused that, but also the follow car should not have actually gone into plow mode like that. Ooh, this is interesting. Stewart's being really gentle there and giving a huge gap to the 370Z. 370Z again is at very mild angle going through here, scooting through track. That's often a really good option because he is booking it. He's going fast. And he's really consistent that way. Meow. Very interesting lap. Oh, we do see it one more time. I think it's Kobe and Shannon again. Interesting, Shannon gave him such a lead there. Shannon sucks up on him quite a bit. They look like teammates. It's really cute. Shannon was a beat back on that transition there. I would have liked to seen him transition a teeny tiny bit sooner. But his lap has far fewer mistakes in it than it did before, which is interesting. All right, Shannon's in the lead. Now I think he's going to have a big advantage if he can stay off of that sloppy line that he was on before. Let's see what he does. Ooh, better line, still way out on the outside right there, but he did not dip down, which is nice. Oh, way better lap from Shannon in the lead this time. He goes super wide there, though. That slowed him down when he went super wide there, allowing Kobe to catch back up. God, I hope that's Kobe, and I'm not just saying this wrong name 50 times. All right, I think big advantage to Shannon now with the dual yellow wheels there. All right, here's Max versus Mike. Interesting, that little HR350Z is taken off. The little 350Z is on WiseFab, which is interesting. It's a very dependable, very reliable car. It used to be one of our Drift Week rental cars. I think it's done 3 or 4 Drift Weeks, which is just wild. On the same kit, same engine, same transmission, same everything. Now it's interesting, the Corvette's really getting thrown off here. He's a complete beat back on all the transitions. He should really make his transitions more in line with the car in front of him, which is going to really slingshot him forward and tuck him in. Once you start, ooh, man, look at the way he pulled there right at the end. It's so cool that you can watch all these amazing cars, you know, Corvettes versus Zs and everything else, and see how they all work, and how a lot of the time it just doesn't matter. Ooh, that looks like it was 3 tires off. The Corvette did 0. But I was gonna say, it's really interesting. You can watch so many cool cars battle each other and like not have mechanical failures. It's very rare to see a car go down in Texas Street Legal, even with 70 cars in comp, and have a failure, which is so cool. Because back in the day, from drifting 15 years ago, when everybody ran like some tuned SR or JZ, some of the guys like on Team Silhouette with Rudy Martinez, they would go through a couple of motors per driver per weekend, it would feel like. You know, they'd finish Saturday, they would all start swapping motors Saturday night, get back Sunday, they'd do, you know, like part of the comp, blow another motor. And I mean, we weren't even good at it. They were blowing motors at 300 horsepower and JZs kind of thing. We were just all way less advanced mechanics. Tuning was way less advanced. We didn't have good ECUs. It was just a mess. Wow, super aggressive entry there. Right on him. That is so cool to see. The driver's getting so confident. Look at this. As we get into the higher parts of the brackets, it is so cool to see these drivers. That blue car really did get out of the way of the BMW on that port, and then just rolled him back in. Amazing. Great lap from the blue car. All right. This is our only 335i, I believe, in comp. You can tell it's a 335i because it's an E90, but makes good power, making a lot of smoke there. He does have an SC300, like full-on caged comp car and everything, and he does not seem to drive it as consistently and everything as this 335i, which is really interesting. It's like laggier and has more issues and everything. This 335i, people talk about how like not reliable they are, but he's been driving this thing for years in Lone Star Drift, and it looks like it works really well. Although when you think about it, is it that much better than a 350Z for all the BMW issues that you could deal with injectors and coil packs and turbos and like plastic valve covers that leak and everything else associated with the 335i? I don't know, but he definitely makes it work. About 8 years ago, I bought one for super cheap, and I was going to try and make it like an American JZX, and we had so many issues in the stock EC with limp mode and everything else all the time, like whenever oil temps would get up. It was very frustrating. All right, we got a brown 350Z versus a black Corvette. I'm going to sit back and just let you guys watch this. This Corvette in comp is a very good example of a car that's always online, typically in his lead lap, always puts down a good lap, and then has a grippy chassis and good power and can really get through the competition. Although you'll notice the 350Z is doing a really good job following him, even though the Z has at least probably 100 horsepower less. Really interesting laps there. All right. I think this is Kevin Wynn. I can't tell anymore. All these dang black 350Zs look exactly the same. You'll see Vadim understeering quite a bit there, and when he did, he got completely left and smoked by the little 350Z. It's kind of impossible to come back from after that, because now he's just cutting all the corners and, you know, trying to make up space, while the 350Z just gets to have a really nice solid lap through here. Kevin Wynn did win the Texas Street Legal prize last year, did go to Japan, did have a great time, drove at Ebisu for like 2 weeks, and I think we had a 3-week trip or something like that. Really good time. Seems to be some type of problem with Vadim's car now. Maybe it's over gripped in the back, I'm not quite sure. Now it's looking way smoother on track. Oh, he goes way off. I think maybe his tires were completely worn out and he's being really careful on comp or something like that. All right, we have Kevin versus Diego. Diego's in the lead in his 350Z. That car also has cams and everything in it, which are legal in Texas Street Legal because I cannot test cams. He did get DQ'd once for having bigger, I think, GTR injectors, so he is on stock injectors, which is hilarious because you can't do that, but you can just go buy a C7 Corvette. But Diego is an animal in that car. He brought out a V8 Corvette, he brought out a V8 S chassis. He's done a bunch of different cars, but he always looks the most solid and most comfortable in that 350Z. He also had a G35 that he looked really solid in that also had cams and a VQ and everything. But man, it is crazy how well a 350Z piloted really aggressively does on this track. Look at this, it's amazing. This track is really good too because it's an equalizer with constant transitions, which really allows the cars to get stacked up, and one really fast car can't just like pull away from everybody like at MSR Houston. At MSR Houston, oftentimes the fastest car does win with a really good driver, and it obviously a fast car with a bad driver is not going to work, but a really fast driver. Ooh, that is an aggressive entry by Jack. The fastest car does win, and it is not like that at this track, Houston Police Academy. This track really does keep all the cars on their toes. And it has amazing wear. Quick fact, it is a concrete track. Most tracks are not made out of concrete. You'll notice the follow car on that lap was very aggressive down the straight. He left the line a little bit before the Corvette and really tried to just go as fast as he could down the straight. Good job doing that. When you are trying to catch a faster car and you get left at the line and he leaves before you, it's done. But if you can do a good job leaving the line and you can be a little bit more aggressive and not screw up your run-up where you end up too far ahead of him when he's supposed to enter in his space and everything else, you can have a really good lap even in a slower car. Because once you get past the straight, horsepower is really minimized because all these cars in Texas Street Legal are supposed to be on a 300 treadwear, 265, 35, 18 or smaller. So a Corvette or something, you know, with more horsepower can't necessarily put down more power and get away from you. A lot of guys going wide in that corner. It's really easy if your car doesn't have any side bite and your car's not set up well for the track to go wide there. Setting a car up for side bites and stuff often can be difficult for a Texas Street Legal car because these guys don't make suspension adjustments very often. They don't have crazy angle kits a lot of the time. These cars do really get street driven. They're full interior, so they're not really dialing like forward bite to side bite to all this stuff very much, except just the few winning guys. And then like Kevin Wynn, I don't think he does any of that stuff. That's the black 350Z with the pink wheels in the back earlier, who won Texas Street Legal last year. Some of these guys' cars are really rough. They barely function, and they just drive really, really well. Oh, here's Kevin again. So they just become so good at driving with Stewart in the back. Stewart is a really good, consistent driver too in that Corvette. It's so weird we do not see more Corvettes dominate Texas Street Legal. I'm not sure if it's a numbers game where we just have so many 350Zs and so many experienced drivers in them that it's hard for the Corvettes to get past them. But then with Diego, the guy in the green Corvette, having one and choosing to drive the green 350Z instead of his Corvette. I'm not sure. All right, here they swap. You'll see that Corvette is way faster. Kevin's little car, I think, is even on stock airboxes, which is hilarious. Stock exhaust and stock airboxes. You'll see he's now having the problem where he's pushing wide on that first corner. The Corvette has more grip, more power, everything, and the 350Z starts having to cut every corner, transition really aggressively, and just drive his way into that Corvette and overdrive the 350Z to try and stay with him. And then when he gets left back by like one beat in that transition right there on that last corner, it's kind of over. But the corner before that, he did a really good job preemptively transitioning at just the right time. All right, these are both VQ cars with cams and everything. Diego versus Shannon. Diego is way out advanced, sets up the car, super nice wide line, actually like 1 foot too wide, but still amazing. Nice transition through there. Shannon's cutting the line a little bit. Diego's putting down just a perfect lap. He's so aggressive. Nice lap by Shannon there. I think this is Shannon's first or second event with this black car as well, so he's doing really well. But man, Diego is a weapon in that car. Cool, let's swap them. Ooh, Diego has a nice lead up. Way better proximity from Diego right there. And the follow position than Shannon did. Well, you'll see Diego locking up his front inside wheel a little bit there as well in that sweeper. Under braking. Man, he is so aggressive and so smooth. Boom, nice transition timing right there. Tucks right in. Let's see what the transition is right here like. Right at the same time, nice job. So he didn't get left behind like Kevin did against that Corvette. Really nice job there. That green car has really good grip. All right, Corvette versus Max. Nice angle and nice entry by both of them right there. Jack is looking really good. Jack was a little bit shallow on that inside right before the Manji cone, which is odd. But he was really wide before that, which is interesting. Man, oh no, Max got a little bit far behind on that transition, but it really didn't affect him that much, which was interesting. Good job, Max, right there as well. That was really good transition. That really let him tuck in on that corner. It can be very difficult to tuck in on that corner. All right, let's see how he does here. Oh, Jack has a really nice entry right there, but then Jack uses the brake a little bit too much. Not too far back. Nice, Jack is putting down a really good lap there. Oh no, Jack pulled back just a tiny bit too conservatively there. Let's see how he does in this transition. Nice on that transition, just a teeny tiny second back, but really good. All right, let's see. Nice. Max actually tucked in a little bit better than Jack did on that last corner, which is interesting. All right, Jack must have won that because he's against Stewart right now. Jack often gets in tight and then over brakes just a little bit and then gets pushed back, and then the lead car is still on the throttle and pulls away from him. It's something that I've noticed in multiple of Jack's laps, and now he's just playing catch up. Maybe his tire's a little bit worn or something else, but Jack often slows the car down in tandem just a tiny bit too much, allowing the other car to accelerate away because Jack then has weight shifted the weight to the front of the car, has to then weight shift it back under throttle again. Interesting. If Jack cleans that little mistake up, he's going to really push through a lot of these battles where he's having these little mistakes that hold him back a little bit. You'll see Stewart almost did the same thing there. Not quite sure what happened, but he just started to get 1 full second behind on all of his transitions there. And it started right after the sweeper and the Manji. He did a tiny bit of a slowdown for some reason. It's hard to come back from those slowdowns when you kind of get off the throttle and wait. Oh, this is going to be a good battle. This is Ray versus Diego. Ray in the blue car. Oh man, Ray is getting so aggressive. He's doing the thing with very mild angle there to catch up to Diego and stay with him. Great timing there. Oh, goes up and tags him. Now, it's a bad idea to tag people a lot of the time because it slows you down slightly and throws your pace off, and then you have to start catching back up. Ray's doing a really good job right there, but if he hadn't had that tiny tag, he would have been probably another like half a car length closer on that last power alley. Let's see. Diego's being nice and aggressive. Look at that. Oh man, this is one of, oh my God, Diego, what are you doing? He's purposely trying to mark up Ray's car because Ray put a mark on him. I kind of do the same thing where in my head I'm like, oh man, I'm going to go get this guy back. And you could see that it kind of screwed up the angle in Diego's entry. And it caused Diego, oh, there's Diego, hit him again. And it's very entertaining for both the driver and everything else. But Diego came out of drift and basically threw that comp right there. Diego probably would have won. But now he's going to battle for third or fourth probably. I'm assuming that's what's going on. I'm just announcing. And this event was like a month ago. Oh, Jack is doing much better at not slowing down too much. You can see how he surged there. He's still one beat back on there and he's cutting line a little bit, which threw him off on the next corner. He got really aggressive and had a moment of greatness right there, which was really good. And then he fumbled a tiny bit where he started to let one mistake like stack on the other, and then it gets difficult. Come on, Diego. Nice through there. Diego has a little bit less angle. Oh my God, that transition was glorious. That was the best transition of the event. You should really rewind and watch that again if you want to. Oh my God, that is amazing. You'll notice Diego's not tagging someone and suddenly he's driving way better because he's not stacking itty bitty mistakes, trying to duck in, tag, and then having to pull off kind of aggressively. The tagging is really fun, but just like when you watch that blue car, me against that 370Z, really made the whole lap really wacky and fussy looking and makes it really easy to lose the battle. All right, Ray's looking really good here. Stewart's a little bit behind again and everything. I wonder how much of it is Stewart has such a beautiful car with a beautiful wrap. He really holds himself back a tiny bit because he's keeping the car always nice and together. And you'll see some of these guys like Diego, his car's kind of falling apart a lot of the time. Ooh, look at Ray. He is like up on the guy's front fender there almost. I couldn't tell if Ray was on the handbrake or something right there that slowed him down a bunch. Fantastic there. Ray is a weapon in that little blue car. Very low angle holding the car back right there. Great laps. All right, I think that's the last battle. Let's go to Pro-Am. All right, next up is Pro-Am. 1 second, guys. All right, it's 4 a.m. now. Let's keep going. So you'll notice some of these cars are Pro-Am cars and some of them are Texas Street Legal cars, and we let the Texas Street Legal cars on our slower tracks like this partake in the Pro-Am. It's a great opportunity for them to get more seat time, for them to spice up the competition because there's more Texas Street Legal cars than Pro-Am cars. So this is a 350Z with a cams and a VQ versus a V8 S13. The V8 S13 really represents kind of like an older way of building cars. They're incredibly good drift cars, but you have to build a whole dang car, and these 350Zs are pretty much tank. Oh my God, it's getting so pulled down the straight. I mean, it's obvious it's a whatever, V8 S13. That's why I drive V8 cars. It is cool to see the difference between these cars. It's absolutely hilarious. This S13 doesn't look like it's very gripped up. Kind of like looks like it doesn't have a lot of side bite and kind of just pushes around track. The 350Z actually looks a bit more gripped up, which is interesting. All right, next battle. We have a brown 350Z versus a blue 370Z. Nice entry by both. Now both these guys were in the Texas Street Legal battle, so it looks like they're a bit more comfortable. And man, they're looking way better than they were in their Texas Street Legal battles. This is really nice. Nice aggressive transition. Both cars are completely under control. The lead car is putting down a nice solid lead lap, and the blue car is all over him in the follow position. Fantastic. Blue car even sets himself up for a really nice tuck-in part right there. He had a nice, interesting transition there. Blue car had a e-brake entry right there, but then got right back on the gas. Huge angle through there. Brown car is catching up nicely, doing a good job. Good transition. That blue car is on fire though, really aggressive. It is crazy how well that brown, I say that right as he has a little bit of understeer issue, or straightening issue. That brown car works for being a DE350Z and so incredibly low on really big wheels. All right, Kevin Wynn versus Tim Fogel. They're going through here. Tim's car is looking really rough over the years. Kevin's does too. So aggressive here. Tim really did a good job at dialing out like 5 degrees of angle and utilizing that to stay really close to Kevin, and is just the king of perfect transition timing here. Really, really good job. Interesting front fenders on that red 350Z too. They kind of poke out at the top. I don't remember if those are the Doluck ones or what they are. Doluck, I don't know how to say it. All right, let's see if Kevin Wynn can. Oh man, Kevin is really aggressive here. Beautiful entry. Both these guys are really on fire here in the Pro-Am competition. Wow, that was amazing there. Kevin screwed up being so aggressive, but that was absolutely gorgeous. That was really, really good. Of course, Tim is going to advance there in the red car. Oh, we got a Corvette way, way faster than that brown car. The brown car also had a handbrake initiation, which really slowed him down. He's just going straight now. He is getting smoked by that Corvette. That Corvette is no joke. It's hilarious seeing such different cars. Now, it does get really difficult for that 350Z to, he just gave up on the lap. I'm not sure if he had a mechanical failure and that's why he's so far behind or what's going on. But that Corvette just had an incredible pace to it. Let's see if it hangs him now in the follow position. Typically not if he has like nice tires and stuff and can really control the car. Corvette has very mild angle staying here. No, the Corvette's going to look really good. He's utilizing the torque and the tires and everything to his advantage. And just sticking with that brown car. Great job. Really good way to control a car that's a tiny bit slower than you and show off there. He tucks in there really nicely even though he dips in a little bit too much. Great lap. Alright, here's Ray, the winner of the Texas Street Legal Series for the weekend versus Tim. Now Ray did kind of cause that screw up. It's on Tim to not actually spin out and everything, but there was a deduction on that lead lap, but it was not a zero of the lead lap. Obviously it was a deduction and it did play into the red car spinning out, but it is the responsibility of the red car to, you know, work with the pace of the blue car and his mistakes and not spin out. But you'll notice it did really like cause it a decent amount. Play into it, I should say. Red car super wide now. It's hard to tell sometimes if these guys are on really worn tires or what's causing them to like start going really wide or spin. They could be on completely worn tires and they're just doing this competition for fun, and they're not really paying attention to too much of the details. And then you'll notice some of the cars are really dialed in. Yeah, you'll see that red car was not having trouble staying on line and stuff before, and now he is. Alright, so this is a 350Z that's naturally aspirated in the front versus like a 700 horsepower 370Z in the follow part. That 370Z also has a dog box, wise fab, and everything. It's going to be interesting to see if the red car is completely holding him up and he's going to be just gap down, just pulling away from him, or what's going to go on. 370Z just cruising along. You'll notice he was the one that I popped my corner light on in an earlier battle. Ooh, look at that. He really pressured him there. You know, it's interesting, that 370Z, the blue one, was not any faster down the straight than the red one, really. I find that when I battle the blue car from Ben Lee VPF Tuning, that car is not fast down the straight until about 70 miles an hour, and then it is horrendously fast from 70 to like 105. Like crazy fast. I've never driven it, so I don't know if it's a little bit of lag or if it just blows the tires off or it's gearing or what it is. but it's very interesting how differently some of these cars move. All right, Frank versus Vadim. Interesting that Vadim seemed to have a handbrake there on entry. I also do the handbrake thing a little bit right there, a tag to like make the car feel comfortable. But in some of those slower cars, I feel like maybe they could just do a slight clutch kick and then just be very careful, float the car a tiny bit and get right back on the gas. It would eliminate a weight shift of the car and allow the car to be a bit more planted and get on the lead car a tiny bit more. Frank's a newer driver, but he has been driving so much in the past, I guess, 24 months or so. Frank fell off line there quite a bit, and then once you fall off line, your transition beats and everything start getting quite a bit off. And then you start again reeling in the mistakes. So if he really focused on line there, that would really clean up that run a lot. Ooh, here comes back Irving in that KBD car for redemption. Irving is very shallow again. Not great line. E36 is just dealing with the mistakes that he's compounding from bad line and everything because he has to follow that line. He's just cruising through. See what happens here. Again, this is Irving's first year. It is amazing how fast he's advancing. And the big thing is it appears that he really enjoys drifting. That's the biggest thing, because if you just enjoy it and you love it, you're going to naturally get so good at this because you'll put in the seat time and just keep driving and driving and driving. Another interesting thing, some of these guys have incredible amounts on a simulator, like time on a simulator, and some of them don't. I personally have a sim, but I gave it away. I think I had 4 of them, and I really just don't drive on simulators at all. And you can see it with some of these guys are so comfortable on sims and so young. It's incredible. This is kind of a rare thing, 2 caged Corvettes battling each other. I'm not quite sure what happened to Stewart right there. Stewart did in the follow car have a bit of a spin there. Very, very large deduction. I'm not sure if that's a 0. I am competing in this battle today. I'm not judging. Look at all those cars in the background. Oh, there I am. I'm pulling up into grid. All right. Stewart's car pulls away from Mike's very nicely. Settles it in. He's narrow, very shallow on line for Stewart. Gets around that transition cone. He already is at a huge deduction. Guys, in the comments, by the way, I'm just kind of narrating this for fun. It makes it a bit more interesting hearing narration and kind of like getting to know the drivers and stuff. Tell me what I should be doing. If you just want me telling you about the drivers themselves and the cars, or if you want me to try and break down the judging more, I kind of do a mix of it, but you know, like, I'm no Dave Egan here. There I am in that lead car, which is missing its bumper. Completely a mess. That car's off of paint right now, I promise. I'm against the Kronk brother right there. I think it's Josh. Could be Jeff, but I think it's Josh that I'm driving against right now. I'm cruising through. I am on 285 08C Valinos. You'll notice me, I kind of nibble at tires. I try not to wear them down too badly. I do have a version 3 Wisefab kit and all that stuff. Not trying to plug the car, I just know it a lot better than the others. So let's see how I do here. I'm pretty confident I have a bit of advantage, so I'm very careful here. I don't want to just hit people's cars, so I dial in right there. I'm close, but I don't hit them. Give them a little bit of space, just cruise through. They're kind of compounding a bunch of mistakes, and I'm just making sure that I continue driving and doing my job. They're way off right there. I'm just still cruising around, trying not to make a hit and take myself out of comp for any reason, and just driving around. And there's Michael in the passenger seat. Michael's gonna make a return, by the way. He's doing this next drift week. He was on Drift Week 1, but didn't make it because his car broke. He'd shipped his car out onto Drift Week, but it was still a mess. I still don't think he took any laps. He's doing Drift Week 9 with us, December 2nd, the start date. And then he's going to be doing Pro-Am, I think, next year, hopefully. He's always had such an amazing and aggressive car. Here's 2 street legal cars that, again, are looking better than they did in street legal. These guys also, when they do double comps with street legal and Pro-Am, the Pro-Am cars mostly cannot do street legal, but the street legal cars can often do Pro-Am. Depends how fast the track is and everything else. This is a very slow track with like a 50-mile-an-hour entry. So we do allow more of the cars to do this. Kevin's on fire in that C7. He's looking so good. And it's so cool seeing newer cars like that. It's exciting to see newer chassis. Obviously, drifting is a unique thing where you want to identify and relate to some of the cars that you see. So like if you're a 350Z guy, you want to see a 350Z, or if you're an RX-7 guy. So you really get pulled in by the types of cars and uniqueness. We don't want everything to be a 350Z. Now, from an event host perspective, often it's nice because the guys don't attrition themselves out and all blow their cars up and just like quit. So a lot of these 350Z guys don't have to spend a million hours building their cars, 6 hours a day for years getting the cars ready. They can just go buy a car, toss it on a trailer, and just be driving that same weekend. So for an event host, it's amazing because we have more drivers that are having a more consistent good time doing all this. AJ's in that LS car. We chatted with him a little bit earlier, how he likes it versus an SR car. I do think he looks a bit more competitive because obviously he has more torque, but he's quite a bit off on the transitions. He's consistently transitioning a good second behind the lead driver, which really puts him at a disadvantage because you're always in catch-up mode. All right. I believe this is Jack again against Vadim. Man, Jack is just turning laps in that car, getting so many laps in that Corvette. Oftentimes, Corvettes have a big problem overheating, and you'll notice he has his hood off. That probably makes a huge difference. And I believe this day was like 82 degrees or something out. It was not a very hot day for the cars. It can often easily be 20 degrees hotter at this track. So even though it's not a hot day, he still has his radiator off. And that's because the engine bay of the Corvette is very packed, especially when someone puts long tubes or something in there. The heat can just not get out. You'll see that very small frontal area for the radiator and the bottom of the front bumper. They just don't have a lot of airflow because they're meant to go really fast. And the engines actually are supposed to run very warm in those cars because of emissions and stuff. They'll run 240 just sitting in traffic, which we don't really like to see those temps, even though they're probably pretty safe. Oh, look at Vadim, he stuck his hands out. All right, here's Edwin again in that 370Z. Let's see if he does low angle again and is fast. Oh, he is fast there. Very low angle. Hitting all of his spots. He has nice line through here, nice and wide right there. He's a little bit narrow right there and overshoots that a little bit. There's a bit of a different trajectory you could take right there. Oh no! What happened to Edwin there? All right, huge advantage to the E36. I was thinking Edwin had a huge advantage up to that point. I wonder what happened. All right, let's see if he got in his own head or what's going on. Way smaller gap between them. Oh no! Edwin had some understeer problems right there. You'll notice Edwin is really good, even when he has problems with understeer. Oh, he hit his windshield wipers. I think Edwin might be getting a little flustered right there. Even when he hits a little bit of understeer or something like that, he does not allow him to affect his proximity with the other car. Meaning he's not slowing the car down or speeding it up drastically. He stays his own speed throughout the track. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder who advanced there because one car just zeroed out. All right, Kevin Susi in his 1JZ 30R size turbo versus Max in his HR350Z. Kevin Susi is the owner of Turn 5 Fabrication. You'll hear me give him a lot of crap throughout the weekends and stuff, but he is a really good driver, and I do send cages to him consistently. I think I sent him 3 cages just this year to get done for cars, roll cages. And both of them are looking fantastic. Looks like an advantage to Kevin through that lap so far. Kevin gets so many laps. He drives so much. He was an SR driver for quite some time, but he was blowing up an insane amount of SRs. And the 1JZ, because it doesn't have rocker arms and it's nice and low compression and a super heavy motor with more cylinders and a ton of iron in it, and it's really well designed. Max goes really wide there. Big. Oh, interesting. I wonder what's going to happen with this. The JZ is just such an easier platform to keep running consistently because it takes abuse so much better than an SR. All right, Rudy is smoking this Corvette down the straight, and he has a tough time with the a lot of the V8 cars down the straight. Really nice lap from Rudy right here. Rudy is the epitome of like good angle, big smoke, aggressive throughout the track. Still pretty fast. That car is so cool. It's so unique too, because I give him hell for like choosing a G35 because no one else would build a G35 to this level, but it's really fun to watch him put his stamp on such an odd chassis and make it his own when most people would not. Oh, interesting that Rudy caught up after initiation like that. His car accelerated and then he decelerated there because he kind of was getting too close, backed off a tiny bit, and then the Corvette did not back off and the Corvette was still on the gas, and then there was a bit of a discrepancy there. But Rudy can catch up because his car is a monster. Also, look how crazy tall that G35 is compared to the Corvette. That's good in some ways because we don't really battle aerodynamics much in drifting, but we do battle like sight lines. So in that Corvette, it can be very hard to see where the front of the car is, whereas in a car where you're looking down at the front end, especially in a FRS or like GR86, where it's shaped like a 911 with a hood where it falls away very quickly, you have an incredible sight line and can really see over the front of the car. And it makes drifting so much easier to be really accurate with a car. In a Dodge Viper, it would be crazy hard to be accurate because you cannot see over that dumb giant hood in a Dodge Viper. All right, Edwin had a really nice lap that time. All right, let's see what's going on here. E36 enters. E36 is shallow and then takes an outside line. Edwin's dragging that front tire. You can see some smoke come off that front tire. Now Edwin's very aggressive there. Backs off a tiny bit. Nice from both these guys. E36 has a good mistake there. Going off and dripping some tires. Edwin gives him room. Then Edwin's right back on him. Nice. You'll notice Edwin straightens out a tiny bit there, giving the E36 time to do a large angle transition from side to side so that Edwin doesn't hang himself there. That's a very clean technique that he probably learned simulator driving. He just stays calm and collected and allows the other drivers to do what they need to do, make mistakes or make large transitions and stuff. Oh, Ben from VPF is really aggressive here. Ooh, he's almost transitioning exactly at the same time or preemptively from the other driver. Oh, that looked preemptive there. That was sick. So cool. The E46 keeps up really well there considering how fast Ben's car is. And then you'll notice Ben got off the throttle, the E46 lagged a little bit and waited, and then Ben lit off the tires and took off. The only way to combat that was for Vadim to be confident and stay on the gas there right when they started into the sweeper. But that's really tough because you don't want to smash into the other car, and you don't know what's going on, and you don't know if they're going to push off the edge of the track. So a lot of the times we always have to err on the side of caution. But again, then you let the other guy pull away from you because you get off the gas and he's getting back on the gas and you're off the gas when he's on the gas, and we don't always react fast enough. Ooh, the Corvette is on Kevin. Kevin's currently second in points. I believe he's gotten second at every event this year or something like that. He is Mr. Consistency this year. Man, Kevin in the Corvette looks really good though. I wonder what was the deciding factor in this battle. I guess the next lap. Let's see what happens. Kevin's actually out in front. Little bit better gap there. Kevin's a little tiny bit narrow there on the line. Oh, I wonder why Kevin didn't win this lap. Oh, I think we're about to find out. Oh, Kevin was just more consistent. Oh wait, it's two Kevins. The S14, Kevin Susi from turn 5, was a bit more conservative through there and didn't get flustered. Now the Corvette's just getting totally flustered and zeroed out. Interesting. All right, this is Ray versus Edwin. Man, Ray is so aggressive on this. He is up in people's junk on entry. And on that transition, wow. But he borked himself right there. He didn't give himself space to slow down without, he tapped the brake. And oftentimes cars, when they don't have a lot of side bite and you tap the brake like that, they add a bunch of angle. So instead of just slowing down, he might not have a lot of side bite, but he has R compounds in the front. So the car has more grip front than back. And when he hits the brakes, the rear end will start to overtake the front, and he added too much angle and spun out. Very interesting. Mr. Consistency back there, Edwin, killing it. You'll notice in the previous Texas Street Legal battles, I think Edwin had some more mistakes, and now he's really ironing them out. He's just super consistent, doing his thing, driving against everybody, and doing really well. That really is a good way over the course of a season to come out really nicely. This is interesting. Oh man. I'm being aggressive against Rudy. Rudy has a little bit more angle than me there. Let's see what happens. I haven't actually watched this footage yet. This is my first time. Man, I am up on Rudy's front wheel there. Again, up on his front wheel. Look at how much smaller my car that looks. That's crazy. So that was really good. Rudy put down a nice lead line. I gave him a little bit of space in the sweeper just because I didn't want to crowd him too much and potentially hit his car. Let's see what happens here. Oh, Rudy gets a really good launch there. Rudy also enters on a similar entry to myself, but then falls way off. If he would, I don't want to tell him hints there. I'm going to shut up because I have to battle him again this weekend. I thought I was far off in the sweeper, but he was far off. Then he does exactly what I do, which is catch up on the easy parts of the track right there. Oh, he cuts the grass a little bit. I didn't know that. Big advantage to me. Man, I wonder what happened. If he phased himself a little bit or what's going on in his brain. But yeah, he borked it a little bit on entry. All right, Kevin versus Edwin. Kevin's got a little bit more angle and a little bit more aggression through everything. But Edwin is keeping up really well. Edwin had a tiny bit of a slow transition right there. It's tough in those 370Zs and stuff sometimes because they don't have... Oh no! Overtakes right there. Oftentimes, you'll get on the gas and it just doesn't accelerate that JZ car in front of you. And you're just kind of standing there on the gas and you don't know what to do. Sometimes it works out to your advantage because your car has the perfect grip to acceleration, to drift angle and everything. You just mash the gas, where in Rudy's car, if you mash the gas, it just makes a smoke cloud. The 350Zs and stuff, sometimes you just mash the gas and the car works perfectly. And sometimes they straighten out. You don't have quite enough power and everything else. All right, let's see who's up next. Ooh, it's me. I'm leading Ben from VPF. Ben is super aggressive right there. Oh, I straight up hit him on entry because I do my normal entry and Ben was crowding me. You can tell Ben's a little bit flustered now and a beat back. He gets a little bit shallow there, comes out of drift a tiny bit, straightens up quite a bit there. Wow. You can see I go way wider in that corner right there than I normally do because I'm a bit flustered because I took that hit and I'm should I even be drifting? Maybe I should just go take another lap. Because I got hit pretty hard there on the straight. Interesting. All right, I have to slow down for Ben down the straight because my car's a little bit faster than his, up to 50 miles an hour. I crowd him a little bit on entry and then I'm a little bit messy. I'm a little bit flustered there as well. His car works so well. Dang. You see my corner light pop off? Man, in the car, it felt like a complete disaster of a lap by that point, but it's not too bad. I can see the judge's problem there. My lap was pretty messy, but he straight up straightened. And that straighten was a pretty big deduction. All right, Ben, that car in front makes double the horsepower of that 370Z in the back. Edwin's doing a really good job. Oh, he's straightening up quite a bit. But I was going to say he was doing a really good job of modulating his speed and working the angle around how fast he wanted to go. So you'll notice a lot of the time Edwin, again, like a road racer, is modulating where he wants his car to do and everything. And you'll notice he's not at big angle, but he's making that active choice because he wants the speed at which he wants to travel to be correct and to be the correct proximity and all these other things. And he works it, which is really cool. Some of these drivers you'll see will dive in a bunch of angle and then suddenly like angle stall, kind of like Ben did right there. Ben had a bunch of mistakes compound right there because he caught up too hard and he didn't keep the perfect distance between them. If you need your car tuned, go hit up Ben Lee from VPF, by the way. Look it up. He tunes VQ cars. He probably tunes 20 of them in our series. All right, this is the 1-2 battle. Wow, Kevin's keeping up really well down the straight. I think at this point I'd probably been driving on these tires all day and they're starting to die. I remember them getting really greasy in comp at the very end. I don't change my tires like in comp or before comp a lot of the time. Sometimes we do before comp, but sometimes I'll just drive on the same tires all day long. Kevin's looking really good. Kevin's seesawing his angle a tiny bit right there. Bonk. He puts 3 tires off there in the dirt, which is a really big deduction. I have better proximity there, it looks like. Oh man, I'm dragging my front wheel. I really give up a bunch right there. I get really close in the sweeper, and then right before the transition, I back off. There I was giving up a bit of angle to set myself up for that sweeper. Oh, he goes way off. You can see my little tire lift up there.
First of all,
Let's
these
do a
guys are
small
battling
award
for a
ceremony.
chance to go to Japan. For the last decade, we've been taking the winners of Texas Street Legal, and then we added Pro-Am to a trip to Japan. We take them to Ebisu Circuit. We're there for 2 to 3 weeks typically. We go to Ebisu Circuit. I give them a car to drive. They have a great time. People that have gone are Kevin Wynn, who's here. I guess we've had almost 20 people win, which is insane. Diego is in the lead right now. Rudy went last year. He's also still in first in Pro-Am for the moment before I beat him and take him out. But it's a really cool award, and I really appreciate all the drivers doing this. And instead of just handing out a bunch of cash, I really like taking them on adventures, even though they could probably use the cash to pay off tires or something. So thank you so much for driving Texas Street Legal and doing a fantastic job. Over the years, the Texas Street Legal guys are getting so insanely good. I know I keep saying that all the time. Diego had the most ballsy, crazy transition over here on the little Manji cone against someone. It was insane. So let's do this. 4th place is Jack Roush. Insane job in the Corvette. Good job. Number 3 is Diego Santos. Oh, you misspelled it. Is that how you spell his name? Oh, yeah, I was like, wait, what's going on? Diego De Leon. Second place is Stu. And first place, is this your first podium, Ray?
I passed like 6 last year.
No, for first place though.
I won last year.
Oh, okay, awesome, great job. He's driving absolutely amazing. Good job, everybody. Are you guys gonna be gentlemen and not spray each other? No, they're gonna spray. Okay, and over here, it's okay, I'll just keep doing this.
All right, so in 4th place, we have Edwin Jennings. He's driving his 370Z instead of the E36. He killed it in that thing. Next up, we have Ben Lee. This guy just randomly comes out with a smoke machine and always podiums. I don't know how he does it. And then in first place, who thinks it's Aaron and who thinks it's Kevin? Let's get it for Aaron. No one? What about Kevin? I think it's pretty even. I don't think anyone cares about either one of you. All right, in first place we have Aaron Losey. That puts Kevin in second. And I think he's tied with Rudy for points.
Thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you for the drivers. Thank you for all the cars. Thank you for the fans. I can't believe we're still doing this after like 20 years. I love drifting. I love all my friends. I love doing all this stuff. Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to bed.